This is an English tutorial for the basics of InDesign, and I'm sorry for my bad English. Okay, when you start InDesign, it will look like this. There will be this smaller window in the middle. On the left, you will see the most recent documents you have opened and worked with. But if you never worked in InDesign, it will be empty here. Down here, you can open a InDesign document that you've been working with before. So if you press there, you can go and look for it. When you are going to create a completely new document, you go to Document and press that word. Then you will get a window where you can do the settings for the document. Here on Återgivning, you choose if you want to do something that's printable or for the web. Uh, we always use the printable ones, the ones for for paper and printing. So always use utskrift. Here, sorry about that. You choose the pages you want for your document. And since this is just a basic video, we're just gonna have one page. Down here on Sidstorlek, you choose the size for the document. A4 is pre-chosen, or you can go in here and choose another size. You see you have A3, that's a double A4, and A5, that's half of a A4. We're going to choose A4. And here you can see the measurements for an A4 document. The width is 210 millimeters and the height is 297 millimeters. If you want a completely different size of your document, you can just write it here. So if I want a square one, I can just write it down, and then it will be changed to anpassa. That means sort of that you done the settings yourself. Okay, I'm gonna go back and choose the A4. On the right here, you can choose if you want a standing A4 or a A4 that's lying down, that's like on the sideways. Okay, down here you choose how many columns you want, spalter. Here you choose the number of them. We're going to choose 2 because we are going to work with a longer text. Here on spaltmellanrum, you put a number in for the size of the gap between the columns. And we are going to choose a gap size of 5 millimeters. Down here, you choose the margin size of your document, marginaler. And here are the upper one, the one on the downside, or the bottom, and this on the left and right side. So if you want to change these separately, you need to unlock the numbers by clicking here. And what you want is that the bottom, underkant, should be wider than the sides. So here we are going to increase the number to about 16 millimeters. Also, the upper margin should be a bit wider than the sides. So we raise this to around 13, 14. Okay, as you can see, I have something called utfall och instruktionsmarginal down here. You get to see that one if you press this button that says more or less alternatives. So press this one and it will fall down. Okay, we won't do anything here that's called instruktionsmarginal. It has to do with instructions in the margin, but we don't need that. But we are going to use this one, utfall. Utfall is, I think, bleed in English, like blood, bleed. And that has to do that if you want a picture to go straight out on the border of the document. You don't want to see a white space between the picture and the border of the document. You just want the picture totally to cover the sides of the document. You need it to bleed. That means that you want it in a slightly bigger size than the paper. So here you can put in how much you want the bleed to be. 3 millimeters is a good choice, around 2 or 3 millimeters. Okay, now we have done a lot of decisions here. So then we press OK. And here is our document. If you press Control minus, you will zoom out. And if you press Control plus, you will zoom in. If you press Control 0, you will show the whole page of the document that you are working in. Okay, I'm gonna show you, zoom in some of the lines you see here on the page. The black line, that's the size of the A4 document. That's what you actually see all the way down to the black lines you will get out from the printer. Okay, the red line is a support line that shows you where or how far to size your pictures to get them to bleed, if you remember me trying to explain that. I will show you more when I put the picture in. Okay, the purple and pink lines are not visible when you print the page. They're just for you to help you to know where to put your texts and your pictures so that you don't go out in the margins. And this frame here, that's the margins. So don't put any text out there if you don't do some sort of playful design, because long text should stay inside of these areas. Okay, I'm going to start to show you how to import a picture into this document. It's important to know that all the pictures you put in InDesign are linked. So what you see in InDesign is a bad copy of the picture. So even if you have the best quality picture, it will look a bit bad here, a bit pixelated. And that has to do with that InDesign is made to being able to work with files that are maybe 100 pages with 500 pictures, and to make the computer be able to work with so much information, they need to save it somewhere. So that's why they save it by showing pictures bad, if you understand what I mean. Okay, so now when we're going to import the picture, we need to use the black arrow. And then you choose Arkiv, Montera, that says import. Okay, I'm sorry you can't see the folder I'm in, but it has to do with the movie or the film program I'm using. But I'm actually choosing a picture here. And then I press open, or öppna as it says in Swedish. So what you can't probably see now is that my pointer holds a mini picture of the picture I've chosen. So I'm sorry you can't see it, but you need to put the pointer where you want the picture to start. Like I want this picture to bleed outside the document. Then I put the pointer perfectly on the corner of the red support line here. And then I press down my left button and pull diagonally sorry, down to the right side. And then I do release. And now I know you can see the picture. So this is one important picture. As you can see, it's slightly falling outside the document size. That is what I mean with bleeding. It bleeds outside. And that's necessary if you want the picture to reach all the way to the paper edge. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is put some text in this document. For doing that, you need to swap to the text tool, the T tool. And since we don't have any text to work with, we need to use a text that comes with the program. It's in Latin and it's made to be useful when you need to choose typography, fonts, but you don't have the text you need, but you need to see what it looks like. So we're going to use that, and you find it like this is how you find it. Okay, so first of all, you take the text tool, press down inside inner line, inside the, like on the border to the left here where you have the left margin, and you pull out a square like this and release the left button when you come to the right margin there. Now we have made a text square that fills this area, but you have no text yet. But now we're gonna import the text. So you right click in this area and then you go to Fyll med platshålla text. I'm not sure what it says in English, but it's something like fill with the text. So I choose that one, Fyll med platshålla text. And now we can see we have this glorious Latin text right in front of us. As you can see, the text doesn't obey the lines of the columns, and I knew it wouldn't because I need to tell the program to fill these lines. And then you do like this. It's really important you make this text square. As you see, I swap back to the black arrow. It's really important that the square for the text click onto this supporting line here to the left. And then you go to the right and you catch this little square now, and then you pull back to the left and make this line the right side of the column to click to the support line on the left side of this column gap. So now we have this text in a small column, but some of the text disappeared. I know it because I mathematically understand it, but I can also see it by this warning sign. It's a red plus. So what you do is you click the plus and you go up here in line with the left column, press, pull the square and release when you're down to the right corner. There. Now you have imported this Latin text. Okay, as you can see, you can move around these squares really easily with the black arrow and change the size of the squares. The last thing we are going to do is write a header above these columns. So you take the text tool and we're going to make a header that covers both of the columns. So there. And now I'm going to be kind to you. I'm going to write in English. This is a 2-column header, like that. I use the text tool to activate this text because I need to change the size of it because it's far too small now to be a header. And when I do that, I can go up here and I can choose a larger size. It goes up to 72 points. But as you can see, it was probably too big. But you can also just write the size here that you like. I'm going to change to a smaller size. I try 50 and I press enter. And now I can see the whole header.